Welcome, everyone, to the Daily Juice Podcast on the Betting Pros Network. I'm your host, Sean, stacking the money green. Give me a follow on Twitter at Sean T. Green. And as always, the Daily Juice is being brought to you by BetMGM. Use the promo code JUICE. $10 bet turns into $200 if either team scores a touchdown. That's good for college football and for pro football. All right. Got 3 college football plays and a bonus play. So I guess technically 4 college football plays, but the fourth play involves some of the plays in the first 3 plays in some sort of parlay fashion. Spoiler alert, let's go. Coming off a 3-0 night and over 3 units of profit because we had the UCLA Bruins money line in there. That closed at, give it out at like plus 120 here on the show. But hey, let's get to the recap. It's always fun to recap a 3-0 night. Hopefully you tailed tonight. This was the night to tail. Like I say, tail my winning nights, fade my losing nights. It's just that easy, folks. First up, UTSA. They won outright, obviously. Covered the 4, 45-30 over Middle Tennessee State. Again, it was just felt like the perfect letdown spot for Middle Tennessee State. UTSA, they're just a fun team to bet on. They seem to rally when they're behind, and they really weren't at all in this game. You know, just a good game. The offense is fun. I mean, putting up 45 points on the road, meep. Again, it's always fun to do the Roadrunner thing. Feel free to do that with friends and family till you drive them crazy. Hey, UCLA, how about those UCLA Bruins? Rose Bowl was rocking. It was lit. I don't know about that necessarily, but UCLA got the win. They were closed as a small home dog, 40-32. I feel like I did pretty well on this handicap. I said they'd be able to create turnovers, and ultimately that was the difference in the game. Got a little sweaty there towards the end, but overall I felt like UCLA really was in control of the game for the most part. Again, certainly a couple moments where like, are they going to blow this? But Washington, I mean, 4-0 at home, and then you play your first road game. It just set up perfectly situationally. You know, DTR, long shot Heisman stuff, that's coming to life a little bit. So fun time to be a Bruins backer and, you know, kind of half-ass Bruins fan like myself. Again, I think a lot of UCLA Bruins fans are half-ass, so maybe in that sense I'm actually a diehard fan. Last pick of the slate, New Mexico, the Lobos, plus 14. Like I said on this one, UNLV would be looking ahead, and that certainly was the feeling early. New Mexico jumped out to a 14-0 lead, and they were getting 14 points, and yet we still had to sweat this out. New Mexico lost 31-20. They got the cover, but this easily could have been a push. I mean, you know, they got that late field goal to make it 31-20. Or sorry, I think it was 24-17. Then they got the field goal. Then UNLV got the touchdown, but UNLV certainly was overlooking them in the first half, and probably in hindsight should have got down on that first half money line. I'm going to look for more of those spots where I like the big dog to cover. I think the other team's going to be looking past them. Why not maybe sprinkle a little bit on the money line, or even sprinkle a little bit on the first half. So we already gave out that sweet DeAndre Swift jersey. I guess we'll never, ever give out another jersey again. Oh, wait. Look at this. We got a brand new jersey giveaway, an autographed Brandon Ayuk jersey. All you got to do, again, youtube.com/bettingpros, subscribe, comment on this video, and turn your notifications on. DeAndre Swift winner had his notifications on, and we announced it on the show, so he did not miss it. And comment on this video. You are good to go. Man, as an Eagles fan, it pains me that we're giving away that Ayuk jersey because that is one of his sweetest plays. It was him leaping over. I'm trying to remember the cornerback or defensive back. Actually, that's a great trivia question. Again, don't cheat for these, but bettingpros.com/chat. Hit the Discord up. Hit the Daily Juice channel. Who did Brandon Ayuk leap over? What Philadelphia Eagle? First one to send in the correct answer, you got a Daily Juice hat coming your way. And again, don't cheat. The gambling gods are watching. Oregon State at Utah. I'm taking the Utah Utes here, minus 10.5. It's a minus 106 over on FanDuel. I really like this Oregon State team. Didn't give it out on this show, but I was on them with the points. Thought they were a live dog up there in Corvallis against USC. Did not get it done. And this to me, or they covered, but they didn't get the outright win. This to me, like that last game against USC, that was a classic dream crusher game, right? You're at home. You're a home dog. Man, you're in that game the entire time and just can't pull it out. And now you got to go on the road against a hungry Utah team. You go from playing at home at night to going on the road in elevation. That is a tough spot. Utah is always a tough spot to play. And Utah's only lost so far this season. Again, bad situation as well. Heat, humidity against this Florida team week 1. When I mentioned Utah was a hungry team, I think specifically hungry for some Oregon State because, man, this is a nice revenge spot for Utah, who lost last year in Corvallis. So they are going to be up for this game, and I think it is going to just be tough for Oregon State. I like Oregon State's team. I just hate this situation for them. Utah is a powerhouse. They also have a 30-year-old kicker, which, come on. Are we not going to root for a team that has a 30-year-old kicker? That's just awesome. And it gives old guys like myself, dare to dream. Iowa State at Kansas. I'm taking Kansas plus 3.5, minus 114 on FanDuel. Normally, I'd probably be looking to fade this Kansas team. I thought last week was maybe the time to fade them. Covered early in the week if you got the 8.5. I gave it out here at 7.5. Unfortunately, did not get the cover with Duke. But watching that game, Duke really wasn't in that game. If you did get the cover at 8.5, you got to feel a little fortunate there with the back door. But Kansas, man, they're at home. Jalen Daniels just looks really good. I mean, he's not in the mix for the Heisman because he's coming from Kansas, but he's in the mix for the Heisman. I mean, Kansas has a shot to win the Big 12. I don't think that's quite crazy right now. And you can get cute and say Kansas is due for a letdown. Normally, I would look to fade a team that's 4-0 straight up and 4-0 ATS. But I think this Kansas team has a chip on their shoulder. And the fact that they're at home again as a home dog in this situation, they're 4-0 and they have road wins over West Virginia and Houston. Still not in the top 25. Rock chalk with the Kansas Jayhawks. I probably should be getting off them here, but man, that team just looked too good. I can't help it. 3.5 home dog. Last but not least, give me Wake Forest plus 7, minus 109 at Florida State. Get that over on Sugar House. Against Clemson, Sam Hartman balled out 20 for 29, 337 yards, 6 passing touchdowns, no interceptions. Florida State, to me, is the 4-0 team that we should be looking to fade here. 4-0 for the first time since 2015. Last season, Wake Forest blew out Florida State 35-14. So maybe Florida State has revenge on their mind as well. I just kind of think they're primed for a letdown spot because they have NC State looking at next week. Now, maybe they're not looking ahead, but certainly dealing with everything that's going on in Florida, that has to be a bit of a concern. Obviously, check before you get down on this game that they haven't moved it or something crazy hasn't happened. But yeah, give me, and if you do bet it and they do end up moving it, sportsbooks will void it because almost all books, part of the sportsbook rules is it has to be played at the time at that venue. But all that being said, Hartman can ball. He can put up points. So even if they don't win outright, which I think they're a live dog, stay tuned. I really like the plus 7 and the minus 109. All right, closing it out. I'm doing a 1-unit round robin money line parlay. 2s and 3 they call it. So again, you're taking 3 teams you like, and I'm giving you 3 college football dogs to play on the money line. So essentially what you're doing is you're making 4 parlays. You're making 3 2-team parlays between the different combinations of these 3 teams and 1 3-team parlay, parlaying all 3 of them. So quarter unit on each of those, that adds up to 1 full unit for the round robin money line. The 3 teams are Wake, Kansas and the aforementioned NC State. Again, this Kansas team is special. I think some of the rules that I would normally have in place, I'm going to move off to the side because they passed the eye test and they're a home dog. Like I just said, Wake, Sam Hartman, I think can take down this FSU defense. So I think that is the recipe. It's kind of chalky, but I cannot take him in this spot. Like, I just don't think Florida State is that good. Maybe I'll be completely wrong. And last but not least, NC State. I'm still not on board with Big Cinco and Clemson. I know I should be, I guess, because he's looked a little bit better. But NC State, to me, they're a lot like UCLA. They play up to their competition or play down like they did against East Carolina. I think that's why we're getting the inflated line here. NC State, I think, is about a 7-point dog normally. So on the money line, you're looking in the 200s there. So this is going to pay quite a bit if we hit. And again, if you're taking these 3.5 to 7-point dogs on the money line, all you got to do is go 2-1, and this thing ends up being profitable. So the round robin money line parlay with Wake, Kansas, and NC State. Wake +7 -109, and that is at Florida State, and then Iowa State at Kansas. I'm taking Kansas +3.5 -114. Last but not least, Utah at home -10.5 -106 on FanDuel. Hey, follow me on Twitter at Sean T. Green. Follow us on TikTok at Betting Pros. Go to BetMGM, use the promo code JUICE. $10 bet gets you $200 if either team scores a touchdown. Check out my other show, Sports Gambling Podcast. Ton of podcasts to get you ready for the NFL, college football this weekend. You know what to do. Subscribe, rate, and review. And as always, don't forget to let it ride.